great things going on right now at Methodist. We have a new president. He's been on board since March the 1st, Dr. Hancock, and he has a very clear vision for Methodist. His energy and enthusiasm is contagious on our campus. It's a very exciting time. The growth of our college has been tremendous, and it's an honor for me to be here to represent our football program. I know the SIDs are probably very disappointed because they're always used to enjoying Coach, and Coach is doing well. He's maybe watching this, maybe not, probably very upset with me for changing the helmets. So if he is watching, sorry, Coach. But Coach Sy has set in our program 19 years ago, because people ask me all the time, what has changed in our football program? We coached to a set of standards, and the standards were set in our program when Coach took over. And that's how we coach our football team. It's about accountability, it's about playing together, and this spring, anytime you go through change, it's different. It's different for the players. Even though the guys know me, it's still different. And I thought our players handled it very well. The biggest thing from our standpoint was we had the opportunity to keep our coaching staff. I am very, very fortunate. I've worked alongside them as assistants. We have great men as assistant coaches on our football staff. They're great people. They're excellent football coaches. They care greatly about our players. And I think that made a huge impact on our football team in the springtime, that they had some familiar faces. So the goals, expectations, and standards of our football program, they don't change. Coach and I are obviously different personalities, but the goals and standards don't change. That's what we need to be doing to get this football program back to where we all want it. We had a great spring, and they've been working hard this summer from what all indications say. We all know that we'll really get a good idea of how hard they work this summer when we see them, when they show up in August. You know, that's probably the hardest time for a football staff is in the summertime. Some programs are lucky that a lot of their players can stay, some can't. But when you lose your football team after the spring to go home, it's a new dynamic when they come back. And our guys are very committed in the springtime, and I anticipate and expect that they've kept that commitment over the summertime. We had a great recruiting class. Our coaches are tireless workers. They've done an excellent job of bringing in quality young men. And now our time in August 10th when they report is to take a paper team and put it to a football team. I think we're all getting tired of looking at a paper team, because that's what you have right now is a paper team. And everyone's really excited to see a football team come in, because no matter what you prepare for, there's factors that change. It happens every year. What you think may not happen. You know, when you're at a Division III institution and you don't have full athletic scholarships to give young men, your team can change in a day. Your team can change in a week. And we're all very excited about August 10th coming around to see our young men return and put a product on the field for 2011. On the offensive side of the ball, the quarterback position, we had great competition in the springtime at quarterback. We had a couple different quarterbacks play for us last year. Travis Murphy was our starter and then got hurt, and John Glenn came in and did a great job. And another young man who surfaced in the spring who was a transfer for us, Kevin Corona, transferred from St. Vincent's College up in Pennsylvania. And those three really had a great competition in the springtime. So that competition will lend itself to the fall camp, and along with some quality young men coming in to compete as well. The wide receiver position, we will return a young man that got hurt last season, Brian Hopkins. He was out all season. We also lost early in the season Curtis Mayhew. He got hurt in the first game. We lost him for the season last year, and he will not be back this season from his injury. But last year, a lot of our young men that we called upon to step into roles as young players, as freshmen, did an outstanding job. So that's a position that, with the young men returning and the return of some injured players, should have some great competition. We also return our tight end, Nathan Kinley, who got hurt the second game last year, and we lost him for the season. Basically did not use a tight end the rest of the entire 2010 season. So we're happy to have him back for his senior season. Our offensive line is a year older. We started several freshmen there last year, and Breon Holmes anchors that line. Breon will be a junior, and Breon has really turned into a great leader on our football team as a junior. Defensively, we lose Josh Cook, Michael Doyne off the defensive line. Two very good football players for us, but Coach Goss does an outstanding job. He plays a lot of different players on the defensive line, so there's a lot of experience returning there to step in and fill the loss of the two young men we lost. Our core, they had a great spring. Seth Sandlin, Brad Wade, Navari Holden. Navari was an all-conference player for us last year. And in the secondary, we're going to move Malcolm McCoy from safety back to corner. He filled a spot for us last year. And we also returned Jake Hunt back there at safety. He was an all-conference player. We got an early Christmas present in December when Tyler Mosker, our kicker, he had a year of eligibility left, but we thought he was going to graduate early, and he did not get that done, so he's going to be able to be with us. So selfishly, we're very excited about that he's had the opportunity to stay with us for another season. He'll finish out his senior year. He'll be one of the few players in the history of the program that's been on our cover twice. Seniors are reserved for the cover. He was on it last year because we thought he was going to go, but he's got another year. This will be a day-by-day process. This is an outstanding conference. These are quality coaches. They're quality teams. I think one thing our football team learned last year was you need to show up each week and play your very best to have an opportunity to compete in this conference. And I don't say it just because we're in the conference. I do believe this is one of the most competitive conferences in the country. And it's exciting football, and if there's people who are bored on a Saturday afternoon and looking for something to do, you don't need the SEC. Come on out to USA South, go get yourself in the stadium, and you'll see some great quality football. So we're looking forward to a competitive season, and I'll take any questions that anybody might have.